Hey guys, I am back. I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving holiday or whatever you did that day. I have the Battlbox Knife of the Month for November. It was waiting for me when I got back, which is pretty cool. I'm sorry this video is delayed by a few days because I didn't get back when this knife was here. Before I get into this though, I have to fulfill a personal request, a personal favor to an awesome viewer. She's been supporting this channel for quite a while. She's a newest Patreon team member. She's really cool. I'm dying to just hang out and have a beer with her and just talk about solving all the world's problems one day. I'm not going to use her name because she didn't give me permission to do it, but a cause that's near and dear to her heart. November is National Epilepsy Awareness Month. And epilepsy is one of those really misunderstood medical conditions. It's not all seizures, down on the ground. It can cause a whole series of issues. So she asked if I would kind of make that known and try to build some awareness of that, and I am so happy to do that for her. All right, down to business. So, if you remember, we had everything in the November Battle Box, except once again the Knife of the Month was delayed. I don't know if it was a shipping issue or a problem getting enough knives from Buck and Bear Knives. We have looked at 2 previous Buck and Bear knives. I was happy with them. I'm going to put links to the reviews to both Buck and Bear knives in the video description in case you missed them, in case you want to check them out. One fixed blade, one folding knife. You can take a look. The fixed blade in particular, I was really, the Bear Claw, I was a big fan of. So we've got another fixed blade. Now there's not a lot of mystery to what's in this box because we were able to look on the card. So this is something called the Piranha by Buck and Bear. Nice box. There's the well, that's different because this was, I remember specifically it said the Survival Piranha. So there's 3 models of the Piranha. And they're all essentially the same. They are differentiated only by the color of the handle and the finish on the blade. So there's the Survival Piranha, which has kind of a desert tan G10, and I don't know if the Kydex sheath matches that. There's what they call the Army Piranha, which is OD green, and this is called either the Black Piranha or the Dark Piranha. So on the Battlebox card, it said Survival Piranha, which was, that desert tan color. I don't care, honestly, what color the handle is on this or whatever. I'm wondering, though, if just in the rush to get the orders filled, they just told Buck and Bear, send us any Piranha you have. Send us all the Piranha. And we'll just make do with it. But it specifically did say the Survival Piranha. I'm sure it is just the same as any other. So this is it. This is the Piranha itself. Now normally you get some information in a Buck and Bear knife. Again, leads me to ask, were they just rushing to fill orders or something and just put these together? In any case, this is a far nicer packaging than what we saw for either of the other knives that we looked at. With the, foam cutouts and everything. So, yeah, so this is the Dark Piranha, or the Black Piranha with the black wash blade. I believe the Survival Piranha just had a bare metal finish. Just a satin finish on the blade. So we're going to put this down. We're going to look at it in a minute. Okay. But as for the sheath, it's a very nicely molded Kydex with a cool tech lock. With the double lock system on it, right? So you can lock it so it doesn't open, it doesn't do anything, or unlock it so that you can actually use it. Multi-positional. So here it's set up for a vertical carry, but you can set this up not any way you want, but you've got options. But it's high quality, good grade polymer. This is a very, very nice, good gauge of Kydex. You can see it's put together really nicely. It's not like 2 flappy pieces that are just going to fall apart. Buck and Bear does some really good quality manufacturing. Holds it in there really well. Not too hard to draw though when you need to. So, cool. Let's take a look at the knife itself. It's a nice skinning survival style blade, which is what we would expect to come, in the hunting box, right? cut away for a second so I could wash some of the production oil off the blade so we can get a really nice look at that blade finish. And it is a really nice dark stonewash finish. And also because I am going to be cutting some meat with it as we look at it here. So D2 steel though, so you know the reason it comes with that oil is for protection because it is a carbon steel. So in transit, you don't want it rusting or anything like that. Now, I have talked to people on the original Battlbox video who had mixed theories about the quality of steel that should be on, you know, your hunting knives. Should they be softer steel that's easier to maintain, or should it be harder steel that holds an edge longer, might be harder for you to sharpen? I was surprised at how many people would rather have a softer steel that might lose its edge, but is easier for you to sharpen and maintain in the field. D2 it has some good edge holding qualities. It is a little more prone to corrosion, unfortunately, but you know. So this knife actually is pretty comfortable in my hand. Now, one of the issues that I have with a knife with a pommel that comes up and ends in kind of a curved guard like that is that it limits the size of the hand that can hold it. Now, mine fits just nicely there. You see that it just sort of, it creates two boundaries, the blade shape. So if your hands are a little bit bigger than mine, you might not be able to hold this knife very comfortably, which would be unfortunate. If your hands are smaller than mine, it's cool. You got room, wiggle room there. But that's just something that, it's a nice looking design, and there are purposes to it. I'm not going to get into it all. There are purposes to designing the knife like that, but when it comes to that style of design, you're limiting the number of people, maybe not by a whole lot, but you're limiting the number of people that can comfortably use your knife. This, again, in my hand, happens to be very comfortable and fits very naturally, so I'm happy. Now, with that big swedge on top, you can rest your finger to get very fine control of the tip. If you happen to be doing any of your skinning activities, me caveating again and confessing that not having any hunting experience, I don't specifically know. I mean, I have an idea. I've never done it. I shouldn't say I don't know, but I've never done it. But lots of opportunity to get really fine control of the tip of that blade to make sure that you can do whatever kind of work you want to do without cutting anything you don't want to cut. It is just a really comfortable handle, though. I really like it. And the weight and balance on it is very, very good. It's got a 3.6-inch blade. It doesn't look that big right here, maybe because of the large width of the blade there with that big swooping belly, but you've got a pretty nice sized blade to do all of the work that you need to do. Full tang, obviously, so nice and sturdy. And take a look at how thick that blade actually is at the spine. So it's a full flat ground blade, but you've got so much. I mean, that's a nice thick blade. Lots of strength in there for all sorts of tasks. So not just skinning, but if you needed to use this for, you know, processing through wood or, you know, any other survival task, it's got a lot of potential and use in it. Might as well stop jibber-jabbing and get to the paper. And blade is finished very nicely. It's hard to cut just on the belly. I'm trying to test every part of it. And, you know, I've had trouble recently with some of those knives with the big curved belly where part of it is sharp and part of it's not. But this looks like Buck and Bear, as usual, did a fantastic job all the way across the knife. No matter what part you want to test out, it slices and it dices. Just look at that tomato. Anybody know the reference? So let's get some 550 cord, and then we're going to get some meat. And we're actually going to put this through a little bit of meat. Not wanting to do that pull through for us. Let's try to just get a little more leverage on the cord. Okay. And you know what? The blade slid around a little bit on the cord, so I don't want to count that because that could be cheating. There we go. I gave it a little running head start, and it worked pretty well. Let's try that again. Hi-ya! Yeah. Little effort on the pull through, but I have a feeling that with the slice, Yeah, slices piece of cake like nothing. How about up here? Yeah, it slices like no problem. So that's what we would expect, though, from this knife. What it's designed for, right? This is some high quality Black Angus here. This is my lunch, so I just want to see how fine can we get this to, you know, separate fat from meat. Nice. Can we do very fine cuts? Get nice little thin slices. Let's see. We can, I mean, if we wanted to, we could basically skin this meat. And it takes no effort to cut through this meat either. It just goes. Now, this might seem like a silly test. I don't have anything to actually skin. So, but I mean, it slices through flesh like nothing. Like, I mean, you can't even feel that the knife is cutting through it. This is not my only lunch. I have 3 of these. But I figured I'll sacrifice one for the sake of the video. You can't even feel it cut through the meat at all, which is pretty awesome. So, I would say that if I had to do the job with this knife, and I had to make those very, very fine cuts, you could do it very nicely. Now I'm waiting for all the actual hunters to tell me everything wrong that I'm doing here, because I'm sure I am doing stuff wrong. But if I wanted to make some really, really thin cheesesteaks, I'd be right on track for that. So take that. But I mean, it lets you make such fine, thin cuts. And I've had some knives that looked really sharp, but if you tried to like shave the meat like this, it just wouldn't go at all. So, I'm a big fan of Buck and Bear knives. I didn't even know about them until, well, I kind of knew about them, I heard about them, but then it was offered to me to try a couple out, and I was super impressed when I tested them. But I mean, this is like, you can get super thin cuts out of this, so you really do have good control of the blade. You're able to do exactly what you want, and out of the package, it comes super sharp and ready to really, I mean, it's like a scalpel. Do exactly what you want, make the exact cuts you want to make, and with very good precision too. There we go. Cut my little triangle up. I'm destroying this meat. I'm going to have to cook it. I guess that about does it for this one, guys. This is, I like this knife of the month. Again, I wasn't sure what it was going to be about. You know, what I didn't talk about is general fit and finish and, you know, the overall design. Fit and finish on it, of course, is great. Everything matches up really, really nicely. This jimping is very recessed, but lets you hold your thumb very nice. Talked about some of the other features. This jimping in the rear, I mean, if you were going to use it, reverse grip, it's there. It is a very well put together knife. I love the weight and balance of it too. Very nice piece. So it's a shame we had to wait for it, but you know, as knives of the month go, I like this one a lot. I think it's a really good one. I like Buck and Bear. They have some really cool stuff. They have some kind of outlandish stuff. If you haven't checked out their website, you might want to. For all you Karambit fans, they have a crazy Karambit on there that you might want to check out. So, anyway, I think we've taken a good look at this knife. I'd like to know what you guys think of it, especially the hunters. Is this something you're likely to carry in your inventory for your purposes? Discuss. For those of you guys asking, the giveaway bug out bag video and all that stuff is coming right after Christmas. As soon as we get that all done, we'll get that rolling and get it all presented. So you have that to look forward to. Check out the links in the video description. If you are thinking about Battlebox, and I'm not pushing it, I'm not encouraging it. I'm just, some people want to try it, some don't. I have a referral link that you can click on in the video description as well. Helps the channel out. I can collect points and then get cool stuff for the channel with it. I'm not trying to push Battlebox on anybody, but if you were thinking about it anyway, you can, you know, help out and use that link. There's also links to the Patreon page, links to the Discord server, where we are having a hell of a good time talking about all sorts of stuff, especially the new Douche Canoe Awards that we're going to hand out. Link to the Facebook page and my emails and all that fun stuff. And like I said, other Buck and Bear review videos. So, anyway, guys, what do you think? Was this knife worth waiting for? I'd love to hear your opinions on that too. So while I go do something with this, you guys don't forget ever, 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 you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.